We are so blessed, are we not?
Yes.
Oh, man. We are immersed in and studying a book called One Soul, One Heart, One Love by John Welshons, an amazing, amazing book of teachings. And last week we said that we have a body. I have a body. My body can be young, it can be in the middle, it can be old. My body can be sick or it can be healthy. My body can feel energized and it can feel tired. I have a body, but I'm more than just my body. I am that I am. Yes. Awareness, consciousness, and bliss. Focused for a moment in a body. Today we move to I have a mind. Oh man, what a mind I have. How about your mind? My mind thinks thoughts all the time. Thoughts, 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 thoughts. I have so many thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. Coming, going, thoughts positive, thoughts negative. I have lots of thoughts. My mind is all over the place most of the time. Chatter, 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 my mind. I have a mind, but I'm more than just this mind. This little tiny mind focused in a moment in the body. I am that I am. Consciousness, awareness, and bliss. I have a personality. Oh, surprise, surprise, right? I've got this personality, which thinks it's the only reality. This little dash in between 1950 and then you're done. No one knows when that's happening. The personality. Persona means mask. I have a mask that I wear. I have a personality, but I'm more than just my personality. I am that I am. Awareness, consciousness, and bliss. And on good days, I'm aware of those things that I am, but I'm not trapped by the small confines of my small mind, my body, and my personality. So today we enter into an amazing technique to help us witness the mind and the body and the personality, called the witness. It's an ancient spiritual technique and teaching that arises within us when we practice it, that brings us the awareness that we are more than what we appear to be in our body. It all began when we were very young with our parents. Our mothers and fathers' vibrational field, John tells us in the book, surrounded us with not so much what they were saying or doing, but their vibrational tone, expressed through what they were saying and doing. So what was that for you when you were young? Was it loving and kind and nurturing from mom and dad, or was it kind of cold and abrasive and set back? How did it feel when they spoke in the room? Were they loud or were they quiet and gentle? Most of us got a mixture of both. And all of those particular impressions came to make up what's called the body and the mind and the personality of who it is that we are now. The synapses in the brain soaked all that in when we were very young. And then John goes a little further and says we not only have that, which makes up the person and the mind and the body and the persona that we're in, we have what he calls the stuff we bring in, our karmic baggage from other embodiments, reincarnation. And you don't need to believe in this in Unity. You don't need to believe in anything in Unity. We want you to test this stuff. And what works for you and puts the rubber to the road, that's what's most important. But he says we bring a whole lot of that with us. That's why when you look at a family and you see 3 kids raised by the same 2 parents, getting pretty much the same treatment, turn out to be very young and be so different. My mother said that my sister Lisa, 3 years older than me, she was really agitated as a child and was really hard and difficult to deal with. And I, on the other hand, I used to be in my rocker in the crib, and I just rock like this back and forth, big smile on my face, just like this. That's all I did. I just rock back. My mother said she had to go and check up on me to make sure I was okay, because all I did was rock back. I was getting ready to be a rabbi, rocking back and forth. With a smile on my face. He was the same parent, the same situation. Some of it good, some of it bad. You know, the mixture that we get. And I was very different. He registers that with the karmic load that we all carry on. So as you and I work with our teachings and our teachers, we become aware that yes, we have a mind, yes, we have a body, yes, we have a personality, but we're more than just that. And we do what Meher Baba says we set up, when we do these practices, what's called a provisional ego. That provides you with an opportunity to learn and to grow. The provisional ego is, I am willing to take on knowing that I am more than just my thoughts and my feelings and my actions and my reactions. This provisional ego provides you with an opportunity to enter into the teachings. And this ego, who you think you are, needs to be very strong to do this work. You cannot go about dismantling the ego if it's weak and insecure. You have to have a strong sense of who you think you are before you can get that that's not what you are. You got to be a strong somebody before you can be a nobody, so you can be everybody. You really need to have that sense of who you are. We said on Wednesday night, it's like this little tiny garden that we live in, where the ego rules. Powerful force called your ego consciousness. This little infinitesimal ripple declaring that it's the ocean, this little tiny sunbeam deciding it's the sun. You need to have that. It needs to be really strong so you can begin to undo it and let it go. Because these teachings will undo that. But the thing is, it doesn't leave you with nothing. It leaves you with everything. Because then you're no longer trapped by the confines of the past or the fear of the future. You live present in this moment, receiving all the help and all the guidance you need from your teachers. So these practices, taking time every day to meditate and be aware of, oh, senses. My senses are hearing sounds. Sounds. Oh, listen to sounds. Wow, wonderful sounds. Whew. Feelings. Oh, here comes feelings. Here's come feelings I like, feelings I don't like. Here's sensations that I'm drawn to, things that I'm repulsed by. Here's some people that I like and some people I don't like. I like the people who meet and satisfy my needs. I don't like the ones who thwart them. They're called my enemies when we collectively attack them, right? This is the whole world we're talking about here that exists where? Where? In you, in me, in every one of us. The whole world is a microcosm of the macrocosm, all existing inside of you. So when you do this work, I am in a body, I have these thoughts, I have this persona, but I'm more than just these thoughts, these emotions. When you watch enough of it come and go, you see that everything that rises falls. You get the biblical passage, no matter what you're going through, that this too shall pass away. It's part of the phenomenal world of change that keeps changing. However, in your awareness of that, you get glimpses and moments of merging with that which is endless, birthless, and timeless, and deathless inside of you. I call that a good day when I have that awareness of that which was present before I took on my embodiment, and that will be present after I'm gone. In unity, we call it this unitive consciousness, the mind of Christ. In the Bible it says, have ye the mind that was in Christ Jesus. Let this mind, this totality of being, be awakened within you. When you have those moments, you become very powerful. You begin to see that nobody is the mask and the persona that they're wearing. That is a delusion. It's changing as we speak. God, look how different she looks. What happened to her? Her mask, her body, her personality, it's all changing. I could barely recognize her. I'm glad you were with her. You look reasonably the same. She looks so different. Oh, the kids, you keep growing. You keep becoming larger and bigger. What changes is the body. What is changeless, essence, is spirit, and is not affected by that which comes and goes, rises and falls. And when you're less deluded by your own personality, you are less trapped in others. I call my mother on the phone. Rhoda. Rhoda lives in Naples. We haven't visited Rhoda, who's now 85, in about a year. So we're thinking, let's go do it. It's an 11-hour drive, but we'll leave after church on a Sunday in September, and then we'll get there, we'll stay overnight, and then we'll get there on Monday, and then we'll stay Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, come home on Friday. So I call my mom on the phone. Hi, Mom. We're going to come out and visit you. I said, okay, these dates are all right. We're going to come on a Monday. Like we did last time, we're going to leave church, we'll be there on Monday. You came very late last time you came. We were waiting for dinner, and you were late. What time? You're going to come late again if you come on Monday? Because, Phil and I, we like to get the dinner done. It was like, Mom will make sure, we really are going to make sure this time we get there right in the right moment. I can't tell you exactly when, but just try to work it out so you get here at the right time. I said, okay. So I said, Mom, she said, you're coming when again? And I said, we're going to come, Mom, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday. I can leave on Friday. She's going, okay, well, tell me the dates again. So I tell her the dates again. And I said, Mom, are you happy about us coming? And she goes, I suppose if you have to come, it's a good time as any. I suppose if you have to come, it's as good a time as any. Mom, it's a 22-hour drive back and forth, okay? Gas is a fortune. I didn't say any of that. I realized in that moment, we weren't going there to meet my mother's needs. We're going to meet ours. I want to be with her. That's why I'm going. My mother will be my mother. I will be Richard. We don't change all that much. The only difference is we have teachings that allow me not to take myself quite so seriously. I don't believe my personality and my body and my mind most of the time on a good day. When I'm caught up in it, I call it a bad day. My mother, who doesn't do teachings, doesn't have that option. She believes she is the thought, word, deed, and habit patterns that make up Rhoda. She wears that mask very tight and doesn't have a whole lot of space around it. You, as a spiritual student, have some space around you, so you don't get quite so lost when someone's making faces at you. Yeah? I'm going to go and see my mother, not so Mom will be different or love me. Oh, love me. I'm going because I want to be loved with her. If we have 1 second and 1 moment of touching the hem of the garment of that, then that will make the visit worthwhile. Yes? Yes. No regrets. Be present for really what is right now. And these teachings allow you to do that. Allow you to have those moments where you see the great spirit behind a temporary moment in time called the personality in a mind, believing it's the body that we're in. Great moments of awakening happen when we do these practices. It's where the rubber hits the road, where the provisional ego, pointing in the direction of spirit, settles into what we call the mind of Christ, of God and you. Oh, those are heavenly introductions of earth and heaven becoming one. A great spiritual teacher who we might be studying his book, we're thinking about it. His name is James Barrage. And the next book we might do might be called, don't go out and buy it and get ahead of me. It's called the 10 Steps to Joy. And we think it might be a really nice adjunct to what we've been doing once we get through with the book. And I'm going to go through every chapter because the book has an amazing more things left to say. But this person's been studying Vipassana meditation 35 years. He was one of the original founders with Jack Kornfield. And again, the process of Vipassana meditation is not a series of beliefs to believe in, but just an awareness of how you can become aware of what's going on in your mind by just coming back to your breath and the present moment over and over and over again, and being clear that the things that come and go and rise and fall are just temporary and pass away. That the worst things you've ever been through, you've gone through. Yea, though I walk and have walked through the valley of the shadow of my own ego consciousness, thou art with me. That's the truth of being, and the practice helps you do that. I'll stop screaming at you. So he says, it started out as an almost imperceptible phenomenon. I was preparing for a talk I was going to give at a retreat center in Southern California. As I looked over my notes, I had the sense that a shade was ever so slightly being drawn over my upper field of vision. I dismissed it as my imagination. Although I had no vision in my left eye since childhood, my right eye had been serving me well enough. The next day, however, that mysterious little pull-down screen had happened again, and I thought I'd probably get this checked out today. The doctor at the clinic was friendly, and I felt at ease as she dilated my eyes and began to do the exam. But a few minutes later, I felt her, and I hate when this happens, the demeanor changes. Ooh, she turned up the lights. I could see in her face this was not good news. I'm afraid you have a giant retinal tear, she said with concern. Since this is your only one good eye, it's particularly serious. You could end up completely blind. He said, I was stunned. When I could finally think, I told her I'd rather be at home and have the surgery there, close to family and friends. She warned me against any sudden movements or lifting and told me to be very careful. And she wished me good luck. During the 45-minute ride home back to the retreat center, I would experience firsthand the benefits of mindfulness practice. I made my way to the parking lot. I don't know if it was the time of day, but as I turned the ignition and the key, everything suddenly seemed darker, both inside and outside. My hands were gripping the steering wheel a bit more tightly than usual. I took the familiar route back to the stark landscape of the desert hills, and although I wasn't driving fast, my mind was racing like crazy. I thought to myself, oh my God, I am going to be completely blind. Poor Jane is going to have to take care of everything for me. But then, here's the part. Then something curious and amazing and miraculous happened. It was like a voice crying out of the wilderness of my own larger being. I had that. It said this to him: you don't know about next week. Just be here now. My attention turned to my hands on the steering wheel, and I realized that I could relax my white-knuckled grip. My mind calmed down, and for about a minute or so, before the next swirl of disturbing thoughts arose. Adam is only 12 years old, 11 years old. He's a teenager, and I won't be able to be with him and help him the way I want to. Once again, the words inside gently and firmly reminded me, you don't know what the future will be like. Just come back to this moment. That's all you know. My mind span out with fearful images, followed by a return to the breath and calming down. Took at least 25 moments of times when it came back, and I finally got to the retreat center. What was so illuminating was not that my mind was filled with worry, but that it didn't kick into outright panic. My years of meditational practice proved to be my greatest ally. I was experiencing the powerful practice of mindfulness. Each time nightmare fantasies were starting to take over, they were interrupted by my return to the present moment. Recentering on my breath, remaining calm, carried me back home, even helped me through the operation, which happened a day later. This kind of refuge happens in the present moment. When you come back, not to what might happen, could happen, should happen, but what's happening right here and right now. You come back to the present moment. It's a sweet, sweet practice. Because it's not so much the things that happen to us, but our reaction around what happens to us. So Maureen's driving the car, the Subaru, yes? 5 kids in the back. She was with them for 2 weeks. They're all in the car, they're all hungry, and they're all tired. And she notices that the light goes on. Oh, the light goes on for the tires. One tire's low on air. Just what I need right now. A little tire problem. Terrific. So she pulls over to the dealership, not Subaru, but pulls over to a car place, and they say, I'm sorry, ma'am, but you've got a nail in your tire, and it's gone right through, and the tire is no longer good anymore. In fact, you have a Subaru all-wheel drive, and so you got to match the tire perfectly with the other tires, and we may have one to match 2 of them, but you know, truthfully, they've got to be a perfect match, and it's going to be amount of money. It's like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me! I wasn't planning on spending that kind of money on tires right now. And you know what I'm talking about now, right? You know, the economy now. You know the economy right now. You're watching people now. Oh my God, the stock market is going crazy. There goes my money. And what about Social Security? That's the only thing I have to retire on, and it looks like they're going to give that away. Dude, that's not fair. And what am I going to do about Medicaid and Medicare? That's the only health insurance I have. Wait a minute, how are you right now? Are you okay now? Oh, okay, it's the tires. And it looks like I'll be able to just go to Costco and get 4 new tires for the same price that this guy could give me too. God bless Costco. Trader Joe's, please come to Wilmington. Now. Oh. And so she calls me on the phone, and she's got the kids dropped off. She's got an appointment with Costco. She's driving on the one tire that's like this, and she's driving down the road, and she gets all the way to Costco, and she gets to Costco, and she realizes she hasn't got her debit card and didn't bring her Costco card. She's got to drive all the way back to the place. She's calling me on the phone going, I'm really not sure if we spend this much money right now. I said, honey, it's just money. Let's get some Costco tires. They're the best tires. Nitrogen, perky Costco tires, Michelin. You know the car's going to get better gas mileage. You know, it's just money. We'll spend some more, we'll make some more. For what? She just lets go of the steering wheel and she drives back, and you know, we get the perky new Costco tires. You can use this right away, by the way. I know your mind is going, there's something in your life that you're holding on to right now. And the truth is, when you do these kind of meditational practices, you don't go anywhere. Doesn't make circumstances better or worse. Doesn't mean things won't still happen to you. It means rather than being driven by what happens, you drive through it. Oh, look, there's the health challenge. The finances, the economy. Wow, what? I'm okay though, you know? Had a good meal this morning. Well, it's pretty good. I can make it. It's all right. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference that your present moment makes? Sensations in the body. Tension in my mind. I can relax. I can let go of the steering wheel and stop creating so much tension and stress in my body. It's just what's going on now. And mostly things are pretty good, just where I am, if I'm present for it. We don't know what the future holds. And the past is over. The Buddha said, the meditator finds freshness and stability by being present in this moment, and coming back to it over and over and over again. And then when you have something to deal with it, you're better able to deal with it without making it the end of the world, which it isn't. It's just another moment in time. So let's go to our practices for our time together today that we can use in our lives. I know you will. You'll use this today. The human mind is an exquisite servant, but a terrible master. 2, Rambam said that. One of the most significant aspects of meditation is cultivating the ability to watch sensations in our bodies, sounds in our environments, and thoughts in our minds. Instead of being lost in them, we notice them. And then we decide which ones we're going to act and react on, and which ones that are just more of the same and we're going to let them go. 3, we notice the impermanent nature of all phenomena, including our thoughts and our emotions and our moods. We have a direct experience in those moments when we do this of what the Bible passage states. This too. The stuff you're hallucinating about now, you won't be in a year from now. I make a prediction. It's all going to change. Only the mind you carry with you will be with you. But the truth of the situations is they come and they go, they rise and they fall, they're here, they're gone. 4, as we witness the passing show of our thoughts and our emotions and our sensations, something miraculous happens. We become increasingly aware of a deep realm of consciousness that hasn't changed since before your birth and won't change when you die. In unity, we call this consciousness the mind of the Christ. And it is filled with bliss, it's filled with love, it's filled with light. It is the light that you are. You don't get caught up in the projections on the screen or the film that shows your habit patterns and your thoughts and your words. You get in touch with the light, and everything changes for you. You become a powerful co-creator of the experience you're having now. That's when the provisional ego settles into the mind of Christ. And then we use our body and our mind and our persona to anchor heaven on earth. So today, as you're driving down the road of life, this week, facing your difficulties and your challenges, just be aware of the sensations in your body. And if you're overreacting, you probably have before. We have a great practice. It's called overreacting to everything. If we can just let go and be present with that tightness and release it in our minds, be aware of it, we can then drive through situations rather than being driven by them. And then when you see Mom, you can say, "Hi Mom, it's your Bubble Richard. I'm still rocking back and forth. I'm still vomiting. I'm still here, and so are you, and so are we." The news of this can set you free. Blessed be. Amen.